The perfect ideal condition for ice wine is, well, A, cold. We like it to be at least, well, -8 degrees Celsius is the legal minimum that we can harvest grapes at. I actually prefer to harvest around -10 to -12 degrees Celsius. I just find that the berries themselves are just that much more frozen. So when we go to press the grapes, they're harder. It's literally it's like a rock. You could literally take the berry and bounce it against the ground. That's how hard these berries are. And less than -10 degrees Celsius, that doesn't happen. And so when we press a grape at -10 degrees Celsius, the water is going to stay behind in the press with the skins and the seeds. It's just that really rich nectar of the gods that's going to drip out. So that's has all the flavor, all the sugar, and a little bit of unfrozen water with it. At -10 degrees Celsius, you're pretty much affirmed that you'll get 39, 40 bricks. When you're harvesting at -8 degrees Celsius, you're really pushing the limit, and you're probably harvesting at the juice that would be extracted is 35 bricks. 35, 36, 36 and a half bricks. I find the flavor, density, intensity, mouthfeel, richness, quantity of flavor, it just is absolutely exponential how much it increases between 35, 36, 38, 40 bricks. I think the perfect time of year to harvest grapes as well is somewhere around the last 2 weeks of December, first 2 weeks of January. That's really nice. Going earlier than that, the berries haven't had a chance to slowly oxidize. When you look at the perfect ice wine grape, it has a nice little golden hue to it. The flavor of that berry versus the berry at the beginning of December where it's still green is crazy. That green berry tastes like sweet rose water. The golden berry has the luscious tropical fruits and mango, papaya, and things like that in it. Getting towards the end of January, it's fine, and into February, March. However, you start to have a lot of dehydration in the berries as well. So your yield goes down, the flavors aren't quite as fresh, but it's still delicious, but not as what it could be. There are a lot of challenges making ice wine. It is only for the most stubborn of ice wine and winemakers. So not only is it tough to determine when you're going to harvest. I love when people call and say, "Hey, when are you going to pick an ice wine?" We're going to send television crews over to see you. They cannot grasp the concept that we genuinely do not know when we're going to harvest ice wine. So picking the harvest date is a challenge. Finding people to go out there at -10, -12 degrees Celsius in the middle of the night, because that traditionally is the coldest part of the day, that's a challenge. Getting the grapes into the press, and then sometimes getting the grapes out of the press, because you're taking these berries and pressing them at over 5 bar of pressure, 90 psi. So it's like almost 3 times the amount of pressure as in your car tire to squeeze these grapes to get that single drop of juice out. Often that just makes a nice great big coat of ice inside the press that's almost impossible to get out. It's very hard to ferment as well. What happens is when the yeast go into the juice to do the fermentation, the yeast try to balance out the environment that they're in. So they actually dehydrate themselves. Water leaves the yeast cells trying to balance out the environment, and they end up dehydrating themselves. Now they're stressed. Now it's hard to make that yeast cell happy, if it had emotions, to have it ferment properly without challenges along the way. It's also a challenge to filter it. It's so thick, it's so rich, trying to get that through a filter and filter it down to sterility. We want it down to 0.2 microns, so it's almost down to a pharmaceutical grade of sterility, so we make sure that there is not any fermentation in the bottle later on. And then to top it all off, you have to bottle the wine. And if you can imagine a bottling line on this track of these gorgeous tall ice wine bottles and a little game of dominoes. So when one bottle just happens to tip over, down the road it goes. So everything's hard. Picking, pressing, fermenting, filtering, right down to bottling. The only good part about ice wine is drinking it.